Economics. In today's class, I am going to teach you the sectors of Indian economy. Okay. So, if I teach you the sectors of Indian economy, what do you think are economic activities? The first question that may arise, or that a teacher teaching you economics may ask you, what are economic activities? If you tell me to define it, I must say the jobs or the works that help us to earn money are called economic activities, or the works that we do to earn money. For example, agriculture, vegetable store, laborers, fishing, tailor, or pani puri selling, bricks forming, sari selling, etc. are economic activities done to earn money, right? Okay. Those activities which are performed to generate income are called economic activities. This is the definition. If you are asked a question like, what are economic activities, what will be the answer to this question? You better write. Why don't you write? Why don't you take the copy? Okay. What are economic activities? Why don't you write fast? Why don't you take the pen? Why are you so slow? Okay, fine, write at least the question. You will get the answer from the video. What are economic activities? Why don't you sit with a pen when you sit to read? What are economic activities, right? What are economic activities? The answer to this question will be, you listen to the video and then write the answers to all the questions. Is that clear? Besides, I am going to give you also hard copies will be given to you. What are economic activities? Those activities which are performed to generate income are called economic activities. Those activities which are performed to generate income are called economic activities. Then, if you look at the chapter sectors of Indian economy, okay, then you must look for classification of economic activity, isn't it? So, if you look at classification of economic activity, what do you get? It means the nature of activity, understood, or employment condition, or ownership. On the classification of economic activity is done. Classification of economic activity is done or conducted or is shown on the basis of nature of activity. Nature of activity, if you look at the nature of activity, what are the natures of activity? Primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector. Understood? And on the basis of employment condition, what do you see? Organized sector and unorganized sector. And on the basis of ownership, you see public sector and private sector. Is that clear? So, if you look at, I just want to show you, if you want to know, the nature of activity, and there are three kinds of, or three natures of activity is divided into three parts. What are these? Primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector. I must tell you, just if I define primary sector, what is primary sector? If you are asked to define, understood, or if you are asked to explain, understood, what is primary sector, you must say sectors which are directly connected with nature are called primary sector. What are primary sectors then? The sectors which are directly connected with nature are called primary sectors. I just want to tell you, just listen to me very attentively. You know what? Previously, in the beginning, what was done? In the beginning, what happened? People used to earn money. What was their primary activity? Cultivation. The first thing the people did was cultivation. And if you are rearing cattle, this is also a part of primary activity, understood? It's a kind of farming, animal farming, cattle rearing, understood? This is also part of agriculture. Do you get it? So it belonged to the primary sector. Agriculture was a part of what? Agriculture, mining, cattle rearing. Do you get it? Primary sector. The sectors which are connected, which are directly connected with nature, are called primary sector. With nature. Try to understand. Hello, listen to me. Suppose when people started their economy, what was the beginning? How did they start? They started with primary sector. What is primary sector? In the beginning, people get to have what? Agricultural products. What are these? Either animals to eat, the primitive people. Understood? Primitive people, do you know? Who? Those who used to live in the forest, those who didn't have education. Understood? Early men. Understood? They are primitive people, and these people, understood, did not have anything except the fruits of trees and grains they found, or what? Cattle. They used to eat flesh, feed on flesh. Do you get it? That's how they began their life. So to earn their livelihood, hello, for their existence, how did they start their life? Through the application of what? Primary sector. What is primary sector? The sectors which are directly connected with nature are called primary sector. For example, agriculture, mining, dairy, understood? Fishing, forestry, understood? These are the things. In the forest, people get to have many things. There are many forests, understood, that the people used, understood, just for existence. For example, banana trees. What did they? They ate bananas, mangoes, understood? They depended on forest for the foods that they got from the forest. And then minings, they gave kind of metals they used in their life. Part of their fishing, they depended on fishing also. People in the Indus Valley civilization also used to eat fish. Do you get it? So this was the part of primary sector. Clear? Sectors which are directly connected with nature are called primary sector. For example, agriculture, mining, dairy, fishing, forestry. When we produce something by exploiting natural resources, it is an activity of the primary sector. What is the activity of the primary sector? Can you tell me? When we exploit, understood? When we produce something by exploiting, we are producing what? Rice, dal, wheat, and all. How are we producing? We are producing by exploiting what? Natural resources. What are natural resources? The resources that are found in the nature, isn't it? Natural resources. It is an activity of the primary sector. The activity of the primary sector provides the base for all other products. For example, the activity of the primary sector. The activity of the primary sector, do you know? Hello? Provides the base for other products. Like I am telling you. A farmer is cultivating cotton. What is this? Then production of cotton or cultivation of cotton. What is this? Is not this a primary activity?
Yes.
And why are they doing this primary activity? Why are they doing it? Because it was source of their income. They did it. This is how they began to live. Understood? After that, with the passage of time, people came to understood. Got to learn how to make t-shirt with cotton. They learn to make cotton clothes. And that's why when they from cotton to t-shirt, what is this activity? When you are making t-shirt, hello, you made making of cotton is which activity is this?
Primary.
But when you are making shard,
Secondary.
secondary activity, because you are sending them to the factory where there are a lot of laborers who are working and they are producing t-shirts. Is that clear? This is called this is why this sector is also called agriculture or related sector. What is this sector? The primary sector. The primary sector is also called agriculture or related sector. Now, secondary sector. What does the secondary sector include? Secondary sector includes those activities in which we change the product of nature into a new form. The product of nature, the product that the nature gave. What did the nature give us? Cotton, and we changed the cotton into cloth. And what is this?
Shard.
Shard. What is this shard a part of?
Cotton.
A shard is a part of secondary activity, because what is secondary activity? If you look at the definition of secondary activity, you see it includes those activities in which we change the product of nature into a new form. What was product of nature? Hello. What was product of nature? Cotton was a product of nature. We cultivated it. And what is shard? We changed cotton into a shard. It is a new form of. It is a new form or not? It is a new form of cotton. Cotton got made into what?
Shard.
Shard. So, what is it a part of? What is shard a part of?
Secondary activity.
Shard is a part of the secondary activity. Understood? So, what is secondary activity? If someone asks you a question like, what is secondary activity? You must say, it includes those activities in which we change the product of nature into a new form. Understood? We change the product of nature into a new form. You get it? So, cotton is a part of secondary activity, and shard is a part of cotton is a part of primary activity, and shard is a part of secondary activity, because we change cotton into a new form called shirt. Is that clear? So, what is secondary activity? Secondary activity includes those activities in which we change the product of nature into a new form, that is shirt. Is that clear? And then between these two, which is a part of secondary activity and which is part of primary activity? Sugarcane, sugar. What is sugarcane a part of?
Secondary.
Sugarcane.
Sugarcane, primary activity.
Sugar.
Secondary activity.
Jaggery.
Jaggery, primary activity.
Jaggery to gur.
Oh, good. Tale secondary.
You get it what I'm saying? Now, okay, you got it now? Clear? When natural products are changed into other form through manufacturing, it is an activity of the secondary sector. Understood? When natural products are changed into other form, through manufacturing, what is it called? What is it called an activity of? It is an activity of secondary sector. What is an activity of secondary sector? When natural products means sugar cane, cotton. Understood? What are these?
Secondary activity.
Secondary activities.
Okay, sugar cane to.
What is an activity of the secondary sector? When natural products, what are natural products?
Products.
Natural products are sugar, banana, cotton. These are what? When natural products are changed into other form. What? Natural products. What is natural product? Cotton. Sugar cane, natural product. Changed into sugar. This is, what is this?
Secondary.
Other form, secondary. Understood? How? Through manufacturing. Through Is not this manufactured in the factories? Through manufacturing, it is an activity of secondary what? Sector.
Activity.
What is an activity of the secondary sector? When natural things are changed into a new form through manufacturing, it is called.
A secondary sector.
Understood what I am telling, Sam? Suppose I have cultivated what? Cotton. This is a primary activity. It's a part of. It is an activity of the primary sector. When I am sending the hello cotton to the factory, what is this?
Secondary activity.
I have sent it to the factory owner. Understood? I have taken money from the factory owner. After, through the manufacture of the cotton, understood? Cotton cloth, understood? In the factory, which activity happened?
Tertiary.
Activity of the secondary what? Sector. Understood? That is an activity of the secondary sector. What is this? The natural products are changed into what? Which product?
Secondary product.
Understood? Natural products are changed into new forms. Is that clear? Into other form. How? Through the manufacturing of it. Through manufacturing. Understood? So what is it? An activity of? It is an activity of secondary sector. And now, last but not the least, what is this tertiary sector? Tertiary sector is also called service sector. Do you know what? I am just giving an example. Try to understand this. Primary sector, agriculture, mining. When? It's a natural product.
Secondary.
Not yet taken to the factory. This is a primary activity. Taken to the factory.
Secondary.
New product taken to the factory, new product made. What is this?
Secondary.
Secondary activity. But when the new product got made, this is secondary activity. And what is tertiary activity? Do you know? With distribution. Understood? You made already cotton clothes and these clothes are being sent to different parts of the country, to the consumers. Understood? Other activities, teaching job. What is this? Bus conductor, doctor, engineer. The works that they do, understood? What is this? Tertiary. Including bringing products from factory. Primary, cotton. This is primary activity. Cotton taken to the factory and made clothes. Secondary activity. But when it comes to bringing those cotton clothes to the market, what is this activity?
Tertiary.
Tertiary activity, service sector. And in service sector consists of different kinds of jobs. Not only agriculture. In service sectors, the job of the primary teacher, job of the teacher, job of the doctor, engineer, nurse, all the works in the world, service sector is called tertiary sector. Do you understand what is this?
Yes.
Including the work performed in different phases. What is this? If you are taking, understood, the cotton clothes from the factory, understood, you are engaged, you are a driver. What is this? You are a part of the tertiary sector. The cotton garments being sold in the market. What is this? Selling. It's an activity of the tertiary sector. Don't you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, understood.
Being sold, people wearing the cotton clothes. What is this? This is also a part of.
Tertiary sector.
Understood? So nurse, doctor, engineer doing different kind, but they are not associated with either primary sector or secondary sector, but they are a part of tertiary sector. That is called service sector. Is that clear? Have I been able to make you understand these three sectors?
Yes.
Have I given you a very clear picture? Okay, fine. Now I want to tell you, tertiary sector includes activities that help in the development of primary and secondary sectors. How does the tertiary sector help in the development of the primary and secondary sector? Tertiary sector includes activities. Tertiary sector includes activities that help in the development of the primary and secondary sectors. How do they help? Without tertiary sector, is it possible for the is the expansion of primary and secondary sector possible? Without tertiary sector, suppose you have cultivated. Hello. you have cultivated, grains, wheat. Understood? This is the primary sector. But if you don't use lorries, trucks to carry those grains to the factories, will the business expand? Primary sector expand? Huh? No. Or bullock carts, whatever cart you use, it will not expand. From factories, you have already clothes made in the factories. Now they are waiting to be supplied or waiting to reach different parts of the world. How can you reach those clothes? Understood? Without tertiary sector, service sector, can they reach the people? Other countries? Without tertiary sector, service sector, no. So it is now very clear to us that the development, it is very clear to us that tertiary sector includes activities that help in the development of primary and secondary sector. For example, transport for carrying cotton to the what? Clear? From the transport for carrying cotton. What is cotton? It's a part of primary sector. So, transport for carrying cotton to factories. And what is factories? Secondary sector, which produce what? Clothes. So what is this? Carrying, transport, what is transport called? Tertiary sector. And factories, production in the factories?
Production in the
Secondary.
secondary.
Understood? New clothes. Clear? So can you name some tertiary sector? Bank, what is it a part of?
Tertiary sector.
Good. Teacher, doctor, barber,
sector.
cobblers, lawyers. Good. Comparing three sectors, primary sector. Comparing three sector. Primary sector means wheat or field. Secondary sector, bread. Wheat. You send wheat to the factory. The bread made in the factory. Understood? Then secondary sector. Tertiary sector, transport, truck,
Transport.
lorry. Understood? Is that clear now? Now the question is how to calculate how much goods and services produced in three sectors. Now the question is how to calculate how much goods and services produced in three sectors. It is done through gross domestic product, that is called GDP. It's a very important question. GDP will come, always given. Suppose a farmer has produced 10 kg. I'm just making you understand GDP. Understood? Suppose a farmer has produced 10 kg of wheat. Understood? What will he do with it? What will the farmer do with the 10 kg of wheat produced by him or cultivated by him? He will sell it to a factory for rupees 200. Do you get it what I'm telling you? If he sells it to the factories for rupees 200, the factory will make atta or flour, right or not, and sell the same for 1000 to a biscuit factory. Do you get it? First, what? Farmers cultivated wheat. Do you get it? And 10 kg of atta or flour. Understood? He sold it to whom? Factory owner. For how much? 200 rupees. Do you get it? Listening to me. And what will the factory owner do? He will make them into atta. Wheat will be changed into atta or not? Atta or flour? Are you listening to me?
Yes.
And the flour is sold to whom? To a biscuit factory?
Factory.
With the help of atta, the biscuits will be made or not? Are you getting me what I'm saying?
Yes.
Then, biscuit manufacturing factory. So what is this? This is how production process is completed. Do you get it? How is the production process completed? This is how production process is completed. So what is the biscuit? So what is the biscuit produced called? What is the biscuit which is produced called? It is called final products.
Final products, yes.
What is final products? The biscuits full. Understood? So
Seal pack.
is the you got it? So what is wheat and atta called? What is atta called?
Atta.
Atta, or I'm telling you, wheat or atta called.
Bread.
Wheat was with farmer. Farmer sold to factory. It changed into wheat, changed into what?
Bread. Oh, wheat changing.
Fast factory.
Flour.
Flour or atta. Atta was he changed them. He changed wheat into atta or flour. This mill seller, this millman understood. After he turned them into or changed them into atta or flour, this fellow understood, sold them to. When these two, when the it was in the form of atta, it was it was in the form of wheat. What was it? It was intermediate goods. What goods was it? Intermediate goods. But when it changed into biscuit, finished products. What is this? Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, from atta, final products is, what is the final product?
Biscuit.
Biscuit. It means from atta or from flour you can make biscuits. You can make biscuits out of flour or atta, isn't it? Do you get me what I'm saying? This is how which work is completed. This is how the production process is completed. When the biscuits got made, production process is completed. And when after the completion of the production process, what do you get? You get final products. After the completion of the production process, what product do you get?
Final product.
Final products. What is this? Biscuit is a final product. Is that clear? But as long as it remained wheat or flour, what was it? Intermediate what?
Product.
Goods. Do you get it what I'm saying? You know, this question may be asked like that. Maximum number of questions will be given from here. Understood? So this is the reason I'm wasting my time and I'm making you understand this. You take the pains to at least have patience. How do we calculate the production of each sector? How do you calculate the production of each sector? When we calculate the production of each sector, we only add the value of final products rather than intermediate goods. Do you get it? How do you calculate? How do you calculate the production of each sector? There are three sectors. What are these sectors?
Primary, secondary, and tertiary.
Primary, secondary and tertiary. All these three sectors, it is not necessary to calculate the production of each sector. If you calculate the production of what sector? Which sector? Which sector?
Primary, secondary, and tertiary.
Tertiary sector. Calculate the what?
Tertiary sector.
Production of tertiary sector, and that will do. When we calculate the production of each sector, we only add the value of the final goods rather than intermediates. Intermediate goods are
Tertiary.
part of primary sector and secondary sector. But final products,
Tertiary sector.
tertiary sector. So counting them or calculating them will help us. So why don't we calculate the price of the intermediate goods in final goods? Why don't we calculate the price of intermediate goods in final goods? Because the price of intermediate goods have been adjusted in the final goods. Do you get it what I'm saying? Why don't we calculate the price of intermediate goods in final goods? Because the price of intermediate goods have been adjusted in final goods. Do you understand? Have you understood what I'm saying? Good. Now, very important question, it is going to come. What is GDP? GDP is a part of what? Which sector? Do you know? Primary, secondary and tertiary. Final. Understood? Calculation of entire what? Understood? Price. So here the value of the final goods and services produced within the country during 1 year is called GDP. What is called GDP? Value of final goods. Final goods, what is this? Final goods means finished. Value of final goods, we do not count other two sectors. Primary and secondary sectors are not counted. So the value of the final goods and services produced within the country during 1 year is called GDP. What is called GDP then? What is called GDP? The value of the final goods and services. Understood? I have told you what is final goods or finished products. Understood? So the value of the final goods and services produced within the country. The value of final goods and services produced within the country, inside the country. during 1 year. You have to bring during 1 year.
Yeah.
On the basis of a year. It is calculated on the basis of a year. Understood? On the basis of all these activities. What are these activities? Primary, secondary and tertiary activities. But we will take only what? The value of the final products. What is this? Tertiary activities. Understood? When it comes to calculating. Understood? So the value of the final goods and services produced within the country during 1 year is called GDP. What is called GDP? What is called GDP is very easy. The value of the final goods and services. Goods, good is always followed by services. Okay, the value of the final goods. Final goods, I have told you final products. Finished products, I have told you already. The value of the final goods and services produced within a country during 1 year is called GDP. What is called GDP?
The final service.
The value of final goods and services produced within a country during 1 year is called GDP. What is called GDP? When you will go for competitive exam, when you will give exam, understood? Bank, especially if you want to be a bank PO, provisionary officer in the bank, or even in WBCS, question like this maybe, what is the GDP of a country? Then you have to say this. This will be the answer to the question. What is this? The value of final goods and services produced within a country during 1 year is called GDP. Is that clear? So, am I good at teaching economics?
Yes.
I am not good.
No.
Okay, so here what I want to tell you, high production, high GDP. High production, high GDP.
Low
If there is high production, there will be high
GDP.
GDP. If a country has low production,
Low
like Bhutan, Nepal, USA, high production. So high GDP. Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, low production, low GDP. Understood? So I can ask you a question. Can I ask you a question? Which country has the largest GDP in the world?
India.
USA.
Oh, sorry, sir.
I have already told you while teaching history. What is USA?
US.
It is the biggest economy and largest economy, isn't it? USA has the largest GDP in the world. Understood? Which country has the fifth largest GDP in the world? Fifth largest GDP. Then comes India. Fifth largest GDP. And it is going to be third largest GDP in the world.
China say.
Understood? So, India has the fifth largest GDP in the world. Understood? Which country has the fifth largest GDP in the world? India has the fifth largest GDP in the world. How is the GDP of India measured? The GDP of India is measured by Ministry of Central Government. How is the GDP of India measured? Ministry of the Central Government. How is the GDP of India measured? GDP of India is measured by Ministry of Central Government. Is that clear? Have I been able to make you understand everything I taught already? That's like a good boy. What was the most important sector in initial stages of world economy? What was? I have already taught while teaching you history. I told you how IMF came into existence, how International Monetary Fund came into existence. Understood? I have already told you. And I will teach you at length after this exam is over. I will teach you, I will make very nice videos for these subjects. Isn't it? I have got very less time to make these videos, isn't it?
Yes.
Just to make you understand. But I'm sure that I will help you to get around 100% out of 100 out of 100 in SST. Do you think I'll be able to make you get? Good. What was the most important sector in the initial? Can you give me a pen? What was the most important sector in the initial stages of world economy?
Many things.
What was the most important? What was the most important sector in the initial stages of world economy? In the initial stages or in initial stages or in initial stages of the world economy, the primary sector was the most important sector in the world economy. It was primary sector. Why? Do you know? After the creation of the world, what was there? Primary activity was there or secondary activities was there?
Primary.
My God, are you there? Are you there? I think sometimes you are not there. This is the reason. Okay, fine. So primary activity was there. What was primary? Cultivation, mining, all these things, the primary activities. But when the factories, the concept of factories came, then secondary started. And then when the transportation and all these other sectors, then tertiary sector came. So have I been able to make you understand this thing?
Yes.
Nicely?
Yes.
Any problem?
No.
Good boy. So primary sector, in initial stage, the primary sector was the most important sector in the world economy. The primary sector was there or not? In the initial stage? Do you get it? Primary sector, the first area of employment, and then after that, secondary sector, second area of employment, isn't it? Tertiary sector, most of the now most of the jobs are created in the tertiary sector. Understood? It used to create a generate employment, which in the primary sector lot of employment got generated in the beginning. Then secondary sector, factories. Then now tertiary sector. Tertiary sector, why diverse? Teaching job, factories, mining, going by ships, aeroplanes. Understood? It's diverse. Transport, shipping, corporation, all these things. All the works done in different fields are part of the tertiary sector. So, if I ask you a question like that, rising importance of tertiary sector of production. What is the contribution of which sector in GDP? What is the contribution of which sector in GDP? If I give you an example of India during 1973 and 74, 40% of GDP came from primary sector, 13% of GDP came from secondary sector, and 47% of GDP came from tertiary sector in India. Do you get me what I'm saying? During 1973-74, got it? And during 2013-14, 14% of GDP came from primary sector, 19% of GDP came from secondary sector, and 67% of GDP came from tertiary sector. Why is tertiary sector rising? Can you tell me? There are many points. Tertiary sector is rising. Diverse? No, all the fields are part of tertiary sector, isn't it? Why is it booming? All the sectors are counted. Now I am giving you some services are basic services. Some services are basic services. What are those services? For example, basic services, hospital, schools. Are they part of primary sector? Secondary sector? No. So these are all basic services. Some services are basic services. For example, hospital, schools, police stations, courts, banks. In a developing country, it will be A. In a developing country, it will be A. I think I made a mistake. Is that clear? You correct the mistake. In a developing country, the government has to take responsibility for the provision of these services. The development of agriculture and industrial sector lead to the development of service sector. What is service sector? Tertiary sector. What is this? Development of agriculture and industry. What is this? What happens if there is a development in the agriculture, in the field of agriculture and industry? Which sector booms as a result of the development taking place in this field, in the field of agriculture and industry? Tertiary sector develops, isn't it?
Yes.
Development of agriculture and industrial sector lead to the development of service sector, that is tertiary sector. Is that clear? As income levels rise, some people are demanding many more services like eating out. This time, what is this? Eating out, what sector is this? Hotel industry, hospital industry, tertiary. Good. Eating out, shopping, traveling, private school, etc. Over the past decade, services based on information and communication technology like computer operators, outsourcing, what are these sectors? Tertiary. Good. Technology have become important and essential. So, where are more people employed? Can you tell me? Good. In 1977 and 78, 71% of employed in primary sector, 11% employed in secondary sector, 18% employed in tertiary sector. In 2017 and 18, 44% employed in primary sector, 25 employed in secondary sector, and 31 employed in tertiary sector. But you look at different pictures now. Why? Because of expansion of the tertiary sector. Now, maximum number of job produced in the which sector? Tertiary sector. So I am going to change the answer to this question. Is that clear? So if you have liked my video, please don't hesitate to share it with all your friends. If they don't like it, they can feel free to dislike it. That's all today. Fine, thank you. I'm sure you must be able to do well in the exam. I hope. I wish you all the best. Thank you.